whether we want to make NACADA to be directly under the President's office or the Ministry of Interior, so that it gets the teeth that it needs to bite. Because the elements that are needed...
NACADA is under Ministry of Interior.
In agreement, Mr. Speaker, yes. You didn't let me prosecute.
Yes.
It is not fully there because, Mr. Speaker, there are some functions of NACADA that have been taken up and put in county governments. And what is happening is that the revenue that counties are looking for is encouraging them to open as many bars as possible. And these bars, not only is alcohol being consumed there, but these bars are also the places where drugs are being trafficked through. So NACADA now ends up suffering the problem of not having resources to undertake the war against drugs, but the counties on the other side are also licensing too many bars, even close to schools, close to hospitals, residential areas, and so on. The second issue, Mr. Speaker, is that when the issue of drugs was brought to this parliament, you are a member of parliament, Mr. Speaker, and I do remember the former minister, Minister Saitoti, and the issues that were prosecuted in this house. Mr. Speaker, we will need as a nation to move this war of drugs from fighting users to following the chain. From the user, there is a peddler. From the peddler, there is a dealer. From the dealer, there is the baron. From the baron, there are international cartels. And these users would never get the drugs if these drugs never found their way into the territory of Kenya. So the problem is way higher up than this young man or woman that we're criminalizing as a user. The user is at the end of the chain. So as the committee is prosecuting this matter, let us also see what it is that we can do to upscale this fight from the level of the ground where we are criminalizing the user all the way to the peddler, to the dealer, to the baron, and see how then we can also arrest it using the international instruments that are available. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity.
Justice Kamei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to add my voice to this very, very pertinent subject. An issue that is threatening the generations of this country. Earlier on, Mr. Speaker, we used to think that it was a phenomenon of cities like Mombasa and Nairobi. The truth of the matter that right now is that this substance abuse has gone to rural areas like our constituencies. In my constituency, Mr. Speaker, there is something called Kutber. I don't know where it came from. Kuber. Something called Kuber. I don't know where it came from. That language does not even belong.
It's called?
Kuber.
Kuber.
Kuber. K-U-B-E-R. I don't know where it came from. You see a young man putting it in his mouth. The next thing is a pale shadow of himself. It is spreading in so many schools, institutions, Mr. Speaker, and it is threatening the generations of this country. Mr. Speaker, I want us as Parliament to apply ourselves fully to this issue and not to leave it to the Ministry of Interior alone and not leave it to NACADA alone. Mr. Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Yes, Ounda.
Honorable Speaker, thanks a lot for my colleague, Mheshimiwa Tindi Mwale, for bringing this matter. But I think it's being too elitist to only consider these imported and high-value drugs. Honorable Speaker, where we come from, we have the maintenance of bang, sativa, whatever it's called, bang. And Honorable Speaker,
It's called cannabis sativa.
Cannabis sativa. I'm most unfortunate because I border Uganda. And what happens, nowadays the growing is being done in Uganda, and Funila constituency, particularly the border point at Bukwamba and part of Sigalame, is the entry point to Kenya. And Honorable Speaker, I will shock you beyond belief that actually the people who are growing bang in Uganda and transport and peddling through across Kenya to come to Nairobi are actually the policemen. They are the policemen. And we have raised this issue continuously. I even raised it to the county commander.
Are you saying Kenyan policemen?
Yes, Kenyan policemen.
In Uganda?
Yes, they cross over to Uganda and grow bang and bring and they make sure they supervise the border point because Apora's border point through Mulwanda, Sigalame, and Bukwamba, and actually transport it and escort it all the way, Honorable Speaker, to here Nairobi. You can see how deep-rooted this menace is, how well it is supported and protected by the security forces. And that's why we want to ask the committee, and it's good has been directed to the Committee of Internal Security. They really need to rein on their police force and all security apparatus in this country. Yes, they make a lot of money from it, much more than they make from their salaries and allowances. But you cannot do that at the expense of the young people in this country. Honorable Speaker, if you go to most schools in Western Kenya, when you look at the boys and the girls, even the girls are becoming notorious. They look like zombies. We are even worried. We used to laugh that people from Mount Kenya region and central, their classrooms, kindergarten classrooms were empty. Probably the next few years to come, in Western Kenya, also the classrooms are going to be empty because the boys are not doing the work they're supposed to do. Women are complaining all over, Honorable Speaker. We ask you for your assistance to solve this menace so that we can continue to reproduce, because we need more numbers to take over our position as we grow old. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Katana.
Asante, Bwana Spika. Swala la mihadarati ni swala nyeti sana. Bwana Spika, zamani madawa ya kulevya yalikuwa yanapatikana mijini. Lakini kufikia sasa yameingia mpaka mashinani. Na wanaumia zaidi ni watoto wa shule. Bwana Spika, watoto wetu siku hizi wameanza kujiua kwa sababu wakikula madawa ya kulevya kufikiria kwao kunakuwa ni duni. Tujiulize swala moja, Bwana Spika. Kenya hatuna shamba la cocaine wala hatuna shamba la heroin. Haya madawa yote ya kulevya yanatoka nje. Ni wapi ambapo kuna ulegevu ambapo inaruhusu madawa haya kuingia katika nchini? Kama vile ndugu yangu amesema, kuna baadhi ya vitengo vya usalama ambao wanajua ni kina nani wanaleta mihadarati, wanajua ni kina nani wanauza mihadarati, lakini watu hawa hawawezi kushikwa kwa sababu wanalindwa na wanalipa baadhi ya polisi wetu ili waweze kuwalinda waendelee na biashara yao haramu. Ni wakati mwafaka, Bwana Spika, kama taifa sisi sote bila kulaumu mtu yote tujitolee kama Wakenya kusema kwamba swala la mihadarati ni lazima liharamishwe katika nchi yetu kwa sababu linahatarisha usalama wa kitaifa. Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipatia nafasi.
Bwana Katana, tayari limeharamishwa. Is unlawful to be found with drugs.
Bwana Spika, ndio tunasema vitengo vya usalama vimelegea. Ni lazima kwa sababu hatuna mashamba ya cocaine, hatuna mashamba ya heroin. Kule zinakotoka ni lazima waangalie kama zinakuja kwa njia ya meli ama kwa njia yoyote. Mipaka yetu lazima ilindwe, tuhakikishe kwamba hakuna mihadarati inaingia katika taifa letu. Asante Bwana Spika.
Benja will be the last.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the honorable member for bringing up this matter. Mr. Speaker, drugs are threatening to kill our whole generation, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as the committee looks at this matter, I want to propose to them that the committee should look at who are the actors, Mr. Speaker, where are the failures in terms of enforcement, Mr. Speaker. And number three, Mr. Speaker, much more important, is we might accuse NACADA for not performing, but we must also look at the law that establishes NACADA, whether we can propose amendments to that law to give it more powers, more teeth, Mr. Speaker, so that they can be able to act accordingly, Mr. Speaker. So I support the statement.
Chair Security, Owen Bayer.
Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Tongo is not here, neither is the Vice Chair, Colonel is not
Inform them to bring a report, an answer in the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks, Honorable Speaker.
Member
much
for
obliged.
Taita Taveta. Member for Taita Taveta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Member for Mwatate, sorry.
It's Matate.
Mwatate, Bwana Mbogo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity you've given me to give my statement. My statement reads,
You should tender an apology to the House for coming late. This is the second time I'm calling you.
I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker, for coming late.
Yes.
I was tied up somewhere in the hospital. I'd gone to see a patient. I'm sorry for that.
Go ahead.
Request for statement regarding the rise of insecurity in Taita Taveta County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 44-2C, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the recent rise of insecurity in Taita Taveta, particularly in Voi and Mwatate constituencies. Honorable Speaker, the rise of insecurity in Taita Taveta County has negatively impacted not only the safety but the well-being of the residents, particularly in Voi and Mwatate constituencies. The constituencies have experienced a number of insecurity incidences in the last 5 months, with people being killed and borders stolen. For instance, in May 2024, Mr. Marian Charlie Chow of ID number 278-97833 was found dead at a satellite site around Rianchore hillside with multiple cut wounds. Additionally, a border rider, Mr. Dunningston Makio Mangombe of ID number 1382264, was found dead on 14th April 2024 in Voi Central Business District and his border stolen. On May 28, 2024, Mr. Silas Silomengo Machongo, a border rider in Ronge Ward, was found dead in Voi constituency and his border stolen, while Mr. Julius Mafuga of ID number 299-51391 was allegedly beaten to death by a police officer from Mwatate Police Station in May 2024. Further, Mr. Sylvans Mwanjala Mvoi of ID number 370-23429 was attacked and severely injured on 2nd September 2024 within Sagala Ward in Taita Taveta County and his border stolen. He was rushed to Moi County Referral Hospital for treatment and later referred to Kilimanjaro Christian Medical Center in Moshi, Tanzania, where he succumbed to the injuries. The matter was reported to Voi Police Station under OB number 63/03/09/2024. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1. Provide a report on the status of investigation into the incidences, including the death and attacks reported to Voi Police Station. 2. The action